Hey everyone, so today we're going to take a look at a few different bass drum pedal beaters and see how the different materials and whatnot affects the sound. First up, we're going to take a look at the trusty dual-sided DW beater. This comes stock on the DW 5000 pedals and the DW 9000 pedals, and as I mentioned, it is dual-sided, right? So you got this really hard plastic on one side and then this felt on the other side. Next up is a different DW beater that we're going to look at. This is what they actually call the HardCore beater, and it's named like that because the core of it, the center right here, is a hard plastic, but the outer part is this kind of spongy foam type material. Now, according to DW, how the sound comes out from using this is going to change based on how hard you hit the bass drum. So when you are hitting softer, it's supposed to be more like a soft, like more like a foam style, right? It's going to be a softer sound when you hit softly. But when you hit more hard, it's supposed to be more of a hard plastic or a wood style beater sound. So that will be interesting to see how that comes out. Now, last but certainly the most odd looking of the group is this VicFirth one. It's listed as the VK-B5. The VK stands for VicKick, in case you're wondering. Obviously, it's very different if you compare it to one of these, right? Where this has this excessively large wooden shaft to it. It's got a felt top, but I can tell you that it feels a little bit harder than this guy. It's still pretty hard though. And I can also tell you just by holding it, the weight distribution on it feels very different from this guy, right? Obviously these guys are very top heavy, whereas this is more balanced. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how that plays out once I'm, actually making the stroke. So just some quick notes on the recording setup. So I'm going to be using a DW bass drum. This is a Purple Core Maple 18x22. There are two mics on it, a traditional mic outside the head and also a DW Moon mic. Both of those are running through API preamps, and the traditional mic is also going through an Empirical Labs distressor. And then once in the computer, I'm going to try to do a very minimal amount of processing on those two tracks, but all my other tracks are going to have a lot more stuff going on. So my first impressions, and keep in mind that I've been using the hard side of the stock DW for a long time, so I'm kind of comparing everything relative to that. The felt side of this gives you less of an impact, right? It's not as hard, it's not as much of an attack sound when you compare it to the plastic side of this. But the feel of it is still very much the same. That is quite different from this. And maybe it's just because I'm so used to the DW one, but the motion, the feel of it was very different with this guy. It feels like there's a lot less force, a lot less like physical, like mass that's behind the stroke. So I didn't care for this one too much, but I did think that if you had some pedals hooked up to some auxiliary percussion, that this actually might work out pretty well in that sort of scenario. Switching over to the HardCore beater, this was kind of interesting as well because you still get a decent amount of attack. I felt like it still has less force behind it when I'm hitting the drum. But this might be something that I play around with a little bit more, something I might experiment with in over time. Maybe who knows? Maybe I'll like this one more than this guy. So what did you guys think? Did you feel that one of the beaters had a sound that was more in tune with your playing style? If so, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, I'm putting out other content all the time, more gear related stuff for like cymbals and sticks, and tips on what to use for recording your drums at home and lessons. So if you don't want to miss out, then don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, peace.